broke into the doctor's trance. "Doctor! They're nearly through! Hurry!"
"Gun sticks at the ready."
The Daleks swept into the chamber. There was nowhere for the prisoners to hide, nowhere to search. The Daleks milled about the room in a state of utter confusion. The doctor and his friends, meanwhile, were floating slowly up the great metal chimney, the plastic sheet billowing above them like a sail of some great yacht. Rebecca glanced down and shivered, closing her eyes. "Are we out of range?" The doctor looked at the drop beneath them. It's hard to tell. One of them's bound to look up here sooner or later." Even as he spoke, a Dalek had glided beneath the cowling. Its eye stalk swiveled casually upwards, and then it let out an astonished squawk.
"Prisoners located!"
It raised its gun stick, and it fired. They heard the roar of the blast as it echoed round the chimney, and even felt the heat, but they were unharmed. "That's a relief," said the doctor. "It seems we're out of range." In the cooling chamber below, the Dalek leader was giving orders to retrieve the situation.
"A patrol will be sent to the surface to the point where the shaft emerges. Order an anti-gravitational disk to be brought here immediately."
They had not escaped. Soon Daleks would be waiting at the head of the chimney, and a Dalek pursuing them up it. They had simply entered a trap with no escape. Jo Grant wondered if she was doomed to spend the rest of her life hiding in Dalek control. There was only one Dalek in the area now, but it was still too near her. Her heart sank when two more entered and crossed to it.
"You will come with us. The ice eruption is under control. We have discovered where the Tals have hidden their explosives. We must find and destroy them."
The new arrival carried a crumpled scrap of paper on its sucker arm, although Jo did not know it. This was the map taken from Marat's body. The three Daleks left the control room. After a moment's reflection, she decided to follow them. For one thing, they would presumably lead her out of the city. For another, perhaps she would find some way of preventing them from finding the Tal explosives. There was no way she could help the doctor directly now. The best thing was to help the Tals. Lying over a crate, Jo saw one of the voluminous fur robes worn by the Spiridons. And hoping he was nowhere near, Jo snatched up the robe and pulled it on. Grabbing an empty basket, she set off boldly after the Dalek patrol. Jo followed the patrol along the corridors, into the lift, up to the surface and out into the jungle without being stopped or checked. The Daleks led her through the jungle, across an area of rocky hillside, and finally into a sort of quarry. The rock was loose and crumbly. Occasionally chunks rattled down onto the patrol, dislodged by subterranean vibrations from the ice cano. Eventually one of the Daleks paused by a large rock. The others joined it, and between them they pushed the rock away, revealing the entrance to a tiny cave. And inside the cave mouth lay a plastic bundle. Jo crept closer, until she was near enough to hear what the Daleks were saying.
"Explosives are equipped with detonating mechanism. We will explode them here. Activate mechanisms. The bomb will detonate when we have left the area."
The three Daleks wheeled and filed away. The bombs lay in the cave mouth, ticking away quietly. They were stubby metal cylinders, silvery in colour, each with a small clock face. The single hand on each clock was moving slowly from the 1 o'clock to the 12 o'clock position. It was easy enough to work out that when the hand reached 12, the bombs would blow up. Beside the clock face, there was a button, like that on a stopwatch. Bracing herself, Jo reached out and pressed it. The hand stopped moving. She gave a sigh of relief and switched off the second bomb, ignoring the dirt and small stones rattling down from overhead. And then a further shower rained down, containing larger stones, and one of them struck Jo behind the ear as she leaned over the third bomb. The impact was enough to knock her out, and she slumped forward over the bomb. Since she hadn't managed to turn it off, this was still ticking, and the hand on its clock moved steadily towards detonation point. Dangling from their parachute balloon, the doctor and the Tals were more than halfway up the enormous chimney. The round disk of blue